Hello everyone, welcome back to Analytical Guy. In this video, I will start with a series called Cricket Analytics, where we will use Microsoft Power BI to create impactful dashboards. Our focus will be mainly on advanced DAX queries and data modeling. So whenever you're working on Power BI, it is very important for you to understand how to model the data and how to utilize the DAX queries. And then working on Power Query is also very important. So we will talk about these concepts, one concept in every video. It will be a very short video, and definitely each video will help you to understand DAX even more. So let's get started. So first of all, we will start with understanding this table. So as you know, there is an ongoing BGT test series happening between India versus Australia. And whatever happens, all the results will impact the World Test Championship standing. As you can see, and this table is last updated on 18th of December 2024. So you can see here number one team as of now is South Africa with percentage PCT as 63.33%. Australia is number two with 58.89. India is number three with 55.88%. So you can see it doesn't matter the win percentage. It is always about percentage, which is calculated on the points. Right, so I'll explain you how these calculations are done. So our objective of this video will be to create this table and then step by step going forward with advanced DEX as well. All right, so before we work on DEX queries, let's try to understand the dataset. We have total 6 tables. Table number one is player underscore info. Then we have test underscore batting underscore card, test underscore bowling underscore card. Then we have test underscore FOW, that is follow wicket underscore card, test underscore matches underscore data, and then finally test underscore partnership underscore card. So we have these 6 CSV files where we have data from, I guess, 1930s until 2024 that is present. So you have every detail. So all the test matches that have ever happened, everything is here, right? So player underscore info, this is the table which will provide you the information on players, like for example, player name, date of birth, gender, betting style, etc., etc. Betting card table will show you the statistics like number of innings played, runs scored, balls faced, number of six, number of fours hit, all those things. In bowling card, it will represent all the bowlers. So you will have all the innings played, overs bowled, number of maidens, 5 wicket hauls, 10 wicket hauls, all those things. Follow wicket will show you the information on when the wicket was taken. So what was the score, how many wickets were taken as of that particular time. And then matches underscore data. This will give you the information on all the matches that have happened. For example, in BJT series that is happening right now between India and Australia. So this table will help you to understand what is my team number one, team number two, and the series number or series name that is happening. So this will give you all the details, matches played, team one, team two, result, and what is the win margin if there is. And then a partnership underscore card, this table will give you the information on partnerships for various wickets taken. But in our scenario, our mostly focus will be on the 4 highlighted tables: players info, batting card, bowling card, and matches data. Right. So if you see here, whenever we are working on data modeling, our focus should be on primary key, what is my foreign key, how we can connect the tables, right? So you can see in the players underscore info, the primary key is player underscore ID. And with player underscore ID, I can connect this table with batting underscore card and bowling underscore card. So this player underscore ID is same as batsman in batting underscore card and bowler ID in bowling underscore card. So I'll connect player ID with batsman and bowler ID. So this data is connected. Now, if I have to connect matches data have the primary key as match ID and test match number. But in our case, match ID makes more sense because I have this column in other tables also. So I can connect this primary key match ID with my foreign keys match ID in batting card and bowling card. So this is how we will connect the tables. And of course, it looks so easy as spoken about, but it is not that easy. I'll explain you how this complex looking data can be easierly, definable, because it's very important for us to make it easier. And because there will be more data coming in, and we are about to create more DAX queries, and our data set should not be humongous. Otherwise, there will be performance issues. Now that we have understood the data set, we have six tables, and we are focusing on four tables as of now. So now if I go to my Power BI, and if you see here, I have this player underscore info that I was talking about, player ID, player name, date of birth, so on and so forth. Then I have batting card, then I have bowling card, follow wicket card, matches data, right? So I'll focus on this, and this. Now, if you see here, there are various other data, like for example, points deducted. This will be on the basis of the slow over rate and all those things. Then I have country info, where I have the flags and all the details about the country, like country ID, country name, and all those things. But it's fine. We don't have to worry about it as of now. Now, if I go back to my dashboard, my first objective is to create this table. Right now, how this table is created, if I go to visualization, I'm doing is I'm using a metrics table. So this is a metrics table, right? In the row, I have teams. So it is straightforward. I am taking teams from country name. In the columns, I have various DAX measures which I created. So first of all, let's create a DAX measure for number of matches. So if I go here, games played, so you will see here, total games played is this formula. How we can do that? It looks so tough, so challenging, but I'll explain you how we can do this, and it will be very easy. All right. So before we try to create a DAX measure to calculate number of matches, let's try to understand logically how many matches each team is playing. So if I go to my test matches data, so if you see here, so I have a start date, right? So I don't have to worry about it, but this is important in general because I have connected the start date with my date table. And now if I scroll towards right, there is a column called team name, that is team 1 name, and then there will be another column, team 2 name, right? So this is like, if I, for example, filter out particular series to make it easier. So let's say India to Australia tour of India, for example. Right. So there are three matches which happened in this series in 1956-57. Three matches happened between India and Australia. Right. So here, team 1 name is Australia in the first record. Team 2 name would be India. Here it is India in second and third, team 1, and team 2 would be Australia. Right. And where is team 2? Yeah. So this is Australia. So now, if you say how many matches played, so only these three matches I have to consider. How many matches played by India? It is 3, right? But if I connect country ID with team 1 ID, for example, if I see here in the mapping, in the country info, this is mapped to this one, right? How? This is mapped from country ID to, if I scroll it towards here, where is my team 1 ID? If I see here, you can see team 1 ID is connected with country ID, right? So now if I filter country ID from country info, which is equal to India, this will filter team 1 ID is equal to 6 for India. So it will give me answer as 2. So India played 2 matches, but instead it should be 3, right? So this is also a possible answer for India, because India played, but it is in team2 name, right? So this is where we have to use a virtual relationship. So it's like there is a relationship built from country dimension table to fact table here using my team1 name. But using user relationship, I can create a virtual relationship between that country ID and team2 ID so that I can then sum the output of both of them. So in that case, I'll get 2, and from team2 ID, I'll get 1 for India. So number of matches played by India in this series would be 2 plus 1 equal to 3, right? So this is what we have to do in our DEX query. All right. So now if I click on 3 dots, click on new measure, and let's try to replicate this. Total matches played, right? So this is what I have to calculate. Now it will be calculate. I have to count all the records in that particular table whenever my country, whatever is filtered, is equal to the country in those values in that particular column. So that will be count rows, test matches data. So this is my table, right? So I have to count all the records here. Now I'll apply filter. So filter would be on the matches table. So test underscore matches on this table team1 ID. So whenever this is equal to selected value of my filter on the dimension table, so that would be my country ID of the country info, right? So all I'm saying is count all the records whenever the selected value of the filter country ID is equal to the values in the team1 ID. So if I say this and press enter, this will give me a particular answer. So what it will give me is, if I go back to this data, so according to that, it will give me answer as 2 because currently I have connected with team1 ID, right? So this will give me the number of matches played by Australia is equal to 1, number of matches played by India is equal to 2, right? Now, if I go back here, matches played. Now, I have to add one more calculation. So I'll calculate the same thing for team2 ID, right? So I'll say calculate. So, or I can say is I can copy this and paste it. Now, instead of team1, it should be team2. All I'm saying is whenever this is equal to this, calculate. But this won't work because there is no relationship between team2 ID and the country ID. So all I'm saying is do this on the basis of team2 ID and country ID, right? So what I'm saying in this particular scenario is calculate all the records whenever the team2 ID is equal to country ID. So instead of this actual relationship, I am ignoring that relationship and instead I'm using this virtual relationship in this case. So this will give me total matches played. So if I take this and so what I'm doing is user relationship function can only use the 2 columns references participating in relationship. So here what I have done is so I have by mistake taken latest data table, but I have to use my test underscore matches data table, right? And then if I press OK, this will work. All right, so now if I go back here and expand this, let's say, and try to add what we did, matches played, and add with this. So if you see here, I'm getting total matches played for South Africa 10, and this is giving me 10, 15, 17, 14. So here, if you see Sri Lanka, actual answer is 11, but total matches played after my answer would be 12. This is wrong. Why? Because Sri Lanka played with various other teams which are not participating or which are not eligible to be participating in the championship of test match. For example, Ireland, then we have Zimbabwe, and there's one more team. So what we can do is we have to ignore all those matches so that we can get the correct answer. So what we'll do is we'll go back to total matches played, and here if you see, I have to get this output, but I have to apply one more filter on this. So what I'll do is I'll say, hey, calculate this. So this is my expression. Now I'll apply a filter on this. So what I'm saying is whenever the team name is Afghanistan, Ireland, or Zimbabwe, then don't calculate. So what I have to do is team one name in the test match is this should not be equal to Afghanistan, comma, then team one name should not be equal to Ireland, then team one name should not be equal to Zimbabwe. Right? So this is about team one. Then comma, and I'll paste this to save my time and paste it over here. And now instead of team one, I'll make it team two, and team two. There are various other ways through which we can do this, but this is straightforward. So I can use that and bracket close. So you can do some indentation on this. So if you have to do indentation, you can use tab, or if you have to go it back, you can do shift tab or just tab to make it towards right. All right, so this is how I have applied the filter, and if I press commit and go back to the answers, it should give me the exact answers. So if you see here, Sri Lanka, 11 matches played. I'm also getting 11 matches played. Awesome. So this is how you can get the total matches played. So if you see here, this is the formula that we have applied, a DAX formula. So you will see here, the main aspect is working on use relationship. So this is very important. So what we are doing here is instead of having the actual relationship between the table test matches data and the country info, it is connected through country ID in country info and team 2 and team 1 ID in matches data. But all I'm saying is ignore this already connected relationship and use this relationship instead. So I'm saying use relationship team 2 ID and country ID over here. Right, so this is very important concept, and this, for example, this is also used in when you have two dates. For example, you have a purchase date and then you have a shipping date. You can't connect these two columns with the date table, right? So there can't be two relationship between two tables. They can only be one relationship between two tables. So for example, if you apply a relationship between date table and the purchase date, then if you have to calculate the orders when the shipping happened, for example, so you have to connect date with shipping date. So what I'll do is I'll say use relationship, and I'll say here shipping date, and I'll say here as the calendar date, and this will work seamlessly. This is a very important concept, easy but very effective. So just try to work on this, use relationship, and let me know in the comments below how you found it, and is it working for you or is it not working for you? If there is any confusion, please let me know. Also, in upcoming videos, I'll also work on various other things. For example, how we did the ranking over here, rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is looking easy, but it is not. But if you know how to work on it, then it is quite straightforward. We will talk about it, like how to make it ascending, how to make it descending, is it dense or sparse. So there are so many things in working on ranking as well. So there are so many DAX case studies that we'll talk about in cricket analytics. So stay tuned for this series. If you are new to this channel, please do subscribe and also press the bell icon if you really want to not miss any update from this channel. Thanks a lot for watching this video.